came to fight for the love of the game. Unstoppable, that's why I'm undefeated. Off the leash, out of the cage, an animal. That's why I'm undefeated. I know I can beat it. Won't give up, 'cause I believe it. Fight for the love of the game. Unstoppable, that's right. I'm undefeated.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to CRN's live coverage of the Casual Sim Racers League as we are here to start Season 17. That's right. CRN back in the booth here to cover another season for CSRL, so I want to thank them, obviously, for giving us this opportunity once again for yet another season. I feel like we've been with them for probably 2/3 of their seasons up to this point. Drivers finishing up with their qualifying efforts, and we got a good-sized field out here again. 44 on tap. We'll show you the grid right now as we get this thing up and underway, if it will decide to show up. All right, we'll get that working here in a second. But either way, good sized field out here. Carlin, we're joined in the booth by Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, back here at Watkins Glen. I feel like we're here. We were just here in real, well, maybe not in real life, but virtually. We finally got in a car and we were here.
Yeah, we got a chance to get out there and have some fun, and did pretty decent actually. Over it was a couple weekends ago now, so it's just it's one of those tracks that you get to do that special event in here, and maybe some of the drivers looking out to get some redemption. Out here with 44 drivers as they are, got their lineup. It does look like some changes in the field where some of the drivers, maybe your favorite driver likes to run. I got Noah Bourgeois, I know for one, that was running in the GT3. I see him up in the LMP2s now, and vice versa. So we'll let the Carl's good old widgets up there show you the running lineup as
took a little bit.
Things are get going. Well, yeah, they're taking the grid now, so they're coming up on your screen. You can look for your favorite driver and get out there. But yes, a nice size 44 car field, and just a little bit smaller than the endurance race. And they had 3 different classes, but 2 different classes here tonight. A couple different fields. You got your AMs and your PMs. So looking forward to see who does what and where they finish here tonight to start off the 17th season here with CSRL.
Well, you mentioned classes, and that's one thing that a new season brings in is the change in classes. We had some drivers switching from LMP2 to GT3, some switching from GT3 to LMP2, so going to mix up the field here a little bit, and certainly one to look forward to is the battle in the top of the LMP2s. We got Day Scaling back, looking to get a championship here. Lost it last season to Craig Jancic, but now we got Noah Bourgeois. That is going to be another threat at the front of the field. So Dace, Noah, of course, Craig starting up there in third. Bryce Reiner, not exactly a slouch, and has won a couple of races earlier last season. Good start to the season for all of them up at the front of the field. You look over at well, we'll keep with the GT3s for now. The AM class right now, Javi Sierra gets the pole for the AM class. As he's going to be starting back there in 10th position. Jim Dutton moves down there to the AM class and qualified up there in 12th as well. Down in the GT3s, no Noah Bourgeois now, obviously moving over to the GT3s, but you got Ricky Renner, you got Colin Winslow coming back this season, you got Chris Hamilton up there. John Nobinger, certainly a man that you hear on CRN on Thursday nights for the Core GT series. He's out there running here in the 44 in the GT3 Pro class, as well as Christian Ortiz Torres up there. They're all pretty much grouped together. Stephen Luttrell, Stephen Luttrell has the pole for the GT3 AM class here tonight, and all the fields kind of spread out all over the place in regards to how many drivers are in there. You got 12 drivers here tonight in the LMP2 Pro. You got looks like 8 drivers in the LMP2 AM. You got 8 in the GT3 Pro, and then 11 in the GT3 AM, with some rookies sprinkled into to both sides of those fields. But it is going to be a good one here. Just like me and Jimmy, most of these drivers, I'm sure, coming off the Watkins Glen 6-hour not too long ago, so plenty of track knowledge still going to carry over, whether they ran in the LMP2s or GT3s. Obviously, if they ran in the GTPs, you still know this track. Just about everybody knows Watkins Glen here. Whether you run it in oval series that comes up as your road course, you may not run the boot here like they're going into right now, but either way, you know this track pretty much in and out. It's been a staple for years and years and years, no matter really what game you play, whether it's iRacing, whether it's Gran Turismo games, it doesn't matter. It's Watkins Glen is kind of one where It's everywhere, no matter where you look.
Yeah, sorry. Just go ahead and microphone. What new microphone is not being detected? So I had to switch here real quick as I play around with the things here. But yeah, no, it should be a good one here, Carl. Definitely looking forward to this evening and seeing how these drivers take on this track here, especially at the beginning here of turn number 1.
Well, the field will be spread out, as you see right there. The LMP2 field following the pace car coming through the penultimate corner right now. The GT3s still working their way out of the boot, but pace car lights are off. It's time to start season 17, and we're going to do it right from the front here. Dace Keeling and Norbourgeois going to lead them to the first green flag of the season. Barney is ready. Hopefully everyone out there in CRN Nation is ready. I'm ready. I know Jimmy is. It's time to go racing here in season 17.
Yeah, let's go racing and have a great night here at Watkins.
Down in turn number 1 for the first time. Just going to pan back through the field, see if there's any kind of incidents or action. That looks like everybody making it through pretty cleanly. So we'll switch back to the GT3s for their start right quick. And while they do get their start, I'm going to try and make a quick little change here, if I can.
Away they go. They start their motion down the track.
Good start to the field, and you get to look at one of my favorite cameras in all of racing, and that is the camera from the top of the S's here at Watkins Glen. It's just a beautiful sight to see the cars spread out, working their way, S-ing their way up through the S's back and forth here. Not too terribly hard of a corner for the GT3s and the LMP2s. There's plenty of plenty of grip, especially on the first lap for the GT3s. LMP2s, Jimmy, maybe not so much.
Yeah, I mean, LMP2's obviously got a little more grip around here, and it's going to be interesting. I don't know if they, I think they got high downforce setups. I'm not even sure what setups they're allowed to use, if it's open or if they're stuck with using what's kind of put in there. I know, like, I was out here, and I was running the Corvette around here. I ran the McLaren, obviously, for the 6-hour event, but I was out here with the Corvette, as the Corvette's traditionally done pretty well here at this track, but you know, the baseline, the setup was horrible. Corvette felt like absolute doo-doo. So hopefully they at least got somehow
How do you really feel?
It was garbage. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So hopefully they have some high downforce, or at least we're able to select what they prefer on this course.
One thing that we've noticed in the LMP2s is those cold tires. I mean, we noticed it at the 24-hour of Le Mans. Not sure how these drivers are dealing with it here tonight. Regardless if you have the high downforce or not, that first lap or two coming out is treacherous. It is sneaky, and if you're not ready for it, the car will snap on you very quickly. But by now, the tires should be warmed up nicely as these drivers get into some racing action here. Up in the LMP2, still grouped up pretty good. Trying to look back through the GT3s. Looks like we got a battle between Santana and Cameron Burke heading up through the S's. And you can definitely go too wide through here. You just got to make sure you kind of get your entry angles correct. You know, if you're on the outside of a corner, because you can kind of slide out there pretty quickly and get into the barriers. And here at the bus stop, something a little bit new, as they kind of kicked out that curb a little bit on the entry of the bus stop, Jimmy, and it's still drivable. You can still get a good chunk of it, you know, the GT3s, even the LMP2s, but you can't just you know, stick it right against that wall like you used to be able to.
No, you got to they got a bump there, and you can get a slowdown. It's definitely a big change, you know, for the drivers, and I was never one to kind of push my luck with the wall, but so I had no problems adjusting. But the other curves, you can pretty much eat a lot of that. So if you got a car that runs nice over the curbs, you feel pretty comfortable. So maybe like the Ford was really good. I know the McLaren wasn't too bad. I know the Merc is pretty well at taking curbs. So But if you got a car that does not like curves too much, it might feel pretty tricky going through that bust up.
Well, if you noticed, we do have a few new sponsors here for the season. 40 Racewear still on board, so I want to thank Jim Herrick for keeping on board here with 40 Racewear. Not sure if they're still doing the raffle for 40 plus drivers, but well, Jim, they got 40 plus here tonight here once again. So thank obviously 40 Racewear for checking in here again for another season. We got Velocity. That is the new branding for what used to be Digital Sim Sports. It is now Velocity. And that's, got the likes of Craig Jancic, Bryce Reiner, a couple of drivers at the front of the field here in the LMP2s, and then Aerostar Racing as well. I want to thank the sponsors for the season, as well as Chris Burrell coming back and bringing the Hard Charger Sandbagger Award as usual. But right now, no sandbagging at the front. Dace Keeling leads the way. You see Bryce Reiner not too far behind, trying to stay in tow, but Dace Keeling looking to kind of avenge some demons from last season, get that thing up front, get some wins, and maybe try and build himself enough of a gap that if he has some mistakes like he did last season, they can kind of wash away easier with some of these wins early on, but still plenty of time, obviously, in this one. Only 5 minutes in, 40 to go. Keeling leads over Reiner, Bourgeois, Jancic, and Petrucco for the top 5 in the overall. Down in the AM class for the LMP2, Javi Sierra has got a lead, but not by much. Jim Dutton right behind him there, less than a half a second right behind. Good close battle right here for the top 2, and then you got several cars in between them and third place Paul Smith, as got some cars locking up here, and Jim Dutton now is going to take the lead as Javi Sierra, one of them right there, and we'll see what happened here. We got a couple, actually. Rich Petrucco might have been involved in an incident. This is a little bit earlier. This is Brennan Dilemma, and just got talking about the entry of that bus stop, Jimmy, and maybe I said it too loud as Brennan takes a big old chunk of it, but he keeps it off the wall. Good save there, realistically. And he's going to lose some time, some position. But this right here, that's more than time and position. That is a huge, huge incident here for Rich Petrucco. We're going to have to rewind it back here. And this wasn't the entry of the bus stop. This was the exit. And that exit, you take a little bit too much of that curve, that's what can happen. Huge incident right there. And also collected the, who was that? I think the OA to Siviani Madrigal, as Madrigal went for a heck of a ride as well. We'll try and take a look at that incident here one more time. From on board here from Siviani Madrigal, and you see, you never want to see a car shoot straight out in front of you. You never want to do a barrel roll in an LMP2 either. Those things are usually planted to the ground pretty well, but clearly not the case in this one. But both of them ended up with a meatball, had to tow back to pit lane, and a tough start to the season for the 27 and the 08. But keeping with the running orders, we'll switch it down now to the GT3s. Ricky Renner at the pole, leads the way right now over Alex Zart by about 2 seconds. Jesse Mosley, Colin Winslow, Jason Phillips for your top 5 in the GT3s. I'd say spread out when it comes to manufacturers. A decent amount of McLarens out there. Quite a few Fords out there as well as the Porsches. A lot of the AM drivers running in the Porsche here tonight, and in the top of the field for the AM class. Stephen Luttrell leading the way in his McLaren. Cesar Colon Torres, Todd Torville, Brandon Powell, and Logan Brame for the top 5 in the AM class. But either way, pretty good start for most. I expected it to be as such. I know first race of the season, a lot of drivers and some new drivers. You tend to worry about how the first race is going to go, but having just run a big old endurance race at Watkins Glen, yeah, I figured it'd be maybe a little bit cleaner than usual.
Yeah, it's obviously it's not too bad here. It's got a pretty a good race going on so far. Just like you said, a few drivers having some early whoopsies. Savani, I see back there, Rich Petrucco, and John Espada maybe not having the greatest race as well. I don't see him on the track at the moment, but trying to find those drivers out there. It does look like Jay Little is working out. I know a lot of drivers like this track, but some drivers don't do very well at this track. It is very kind of unique in a few situations. You got the long straightaways with some heavy braking and some some corners where you have to run over the curb. The car gets, it does can feel like it's out of control, and if you don't know how to control it or what it feels like, it can make you uncomfortable, and you're not gonna be able to carry that speed. And it's just tense, here. But one corner, if you miss a corner or not, don't get your exit, it can really affect your lap times. We've seen it here when we're running for the 6-hour event, the different time lapse, where you go out there and it was good, and then all of a sudden your front right, you got it too hot because you took too many left or right hand turns, so that left tire just really taking a beating. And I think I put a pretty good beating on that left front a lot during our events. As down the front straightaway, you got a right hand turn, the end of the bus stop after high speed, right hand turn, and then you got the carousel right hand turn. A lot of sharp right hand turns, putting a lot of pressure on that left front tire, and it really does wear it down. So you do have to take care of your tires. And Carl, I'm not quite sure the rules are running, but iRacing, obviously with this last update, has gone and made some changes to what and how things react. So and that's what I mean by that is like the setups. So depending on the rules that have been selected for the race, when you come into the pits, typically we've been used to, as of recently, automatically fuel and tires happen at the exact same time. And now they've made it where you can select a different rule set where tires and fuel are done separately. And it does make a huge difference as far as time in the pits. So we'll see if anybody hasn't tried or practiced pitting and is not ready to just come in and for a splash without taking tires. It's only a 45-minute event here. I don't expect anybody taking tires, but
we have seen it before.
Yeah. So it's a big difference. Because you're like, all right, I really want tires. But now, if they can't take fuel and tires at the same time, you're looking at more time in the pits. So these drivers really need to take care of their stuff out on the track, if that's the case.
Oh, man, as we take a look here, and almost a mirror image of what happened to Rich Petrucco, Jim Herrick, hard impact, trying to leave the bus stop, tore up the car. He is towed it back to pits, and his night could very well be done. That's what happened to Petrucco. Obviously, he shot out in front of Simulating Madrigal. That's why he's back there. Herrick now in the pits. John Espada, unfortunately, getting word that his sim crashed as soon as qualifying ended, and it's kind of weird. I don't know what's been going on with that, because I've had that issue recently as well. I was actually crashed in between practice and qualifying, I believe, for me for the Watkins Glen event. So. I don't know what exactly is going on.
Larry was crashing every time he got out of the car.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Well, that's what happened for me too. Yeah.
He'd come in the pits, we'd swap, and he'd get out of the car and he'd disappear. And it's not like I booted him off of iRacing. I don't know what's going on. I think it might be I don't know if it's a bug or whatnot. So I mean, if you're in an endurance race and you get to that part where you have to fight the PC just a little bit, and that kind of stinks though, going from one session to the next, from like practice to the race, because that can it's the first I've heard of it kind of lingering over between like areas. But you see right there, I'm watching Bryce was able to close in on Dace because of the lap traffic. So how well can Dace manage this traffic, and Bryce was really keeping on that back end there of the number 6 of Dace.
Yeah, I mean, I know when it comes to iRacing, they try to have it as legit as possible, as realistic as possible, and that's why so many love the service. But they haven't instituted any kind of random mechanical issues. I guess maybe they're just doing that server-wise. They're just randomly kicking people off. Oh, you hopped out of the car, you're gone. Just random, that's their engine failures. Is that different issues with the servers? But it's certainly not something you want to deal with if you bin the car, or somebody else gets in the end and the car gets binned. That's one thing. It sucks enough. But at least it's a racing incident one way or another. When it comes to PC issues or server issues or internet issues, that's where it sucks, because some accidents certainly are out of your hands, but stuff like that a lot of times is 100% out of your hands, and it's hard to deal with. And you see right there, going into the bus stop, the 20 of Michael Pennant Jr. Blinking there a little bit in front of Paul Smith. So Smith had to back out of it there a little bit because he didn't know where he was heading into the bus stop, and those are the kind of things that it gets even worse as a driver. Maybe you're a driver out there that doesn't have any issues, but if you run into a car that is having issues, you could literally run into them and they're not even there because they're blinking out. So it's a crappy situation to be involved in, but certainly not a fun situation to be involved in for your leader, Dace Keeling. He's got Reiner all over his back bumper, as Jimmy mentioned earlier, with the lap traffic involved right now. Making their way through with the final corner right now is Keeling all over the back bumper of the 11 of Christian Ortiz Torres. Now they're going to go side by side, 3 wide down the front stretch. Reiner looking for the inside line into 1. He's going to have it, but can he complete the pass as they go through turn number 1? Keeling going to set it out there as you can go pretty wide on those curbings, and they're still going to be side by side up through the S's. He's also bringing in the 24 Noah Bourgeois, heading right behind him as well, as they're bumping and banging down the backstretch here, heading into the bus stop. And Reiner's going to have to back out of it for now and live to fight another day. Keeling holds on. Reiner and Bourgeois right behind, and not too far behind them also is Craig Jancic still up in the mix. We got the top 4 drivers in the overall and the LMP2 Pro Class covered by a second.
Yeah, I'm back here looking at Jack Oldenburg, and he's had his hands full there. Paul Smith, Steven Pless back there, and back with the LMP2 pack, but still some great side-by-side racing, giving each other room, really kind of going for it, trying to get around each other here early on. And I think I'm not even live, so that's a little old, but yeah, they were doing that.
I was going to say, pretty wide when I looked right there, but...
yeah. But definitely, just going back, just watching some things back on the track. But yeah, a lot even back here with John Newman side by side right now with Chris Hayes. So real good racing like all throughout the field here. And I think we've seen that even during the endurance event on a couple weekends ago. Definitely seen you had pockets. There was a point of time I think I felt like I was on the track all by myself. Until the LMP, the GT3s finally come buzzing around. But when you get out there and you can get a good run. But having a few drivers kind of come in the pits. I've seen a few drivers kind of enter now. Got Rob Angus in the pits, Paul Smith, Cameron Burke, Frank Fasano is in the pits now as well. I don't know if that's a scheduled stop or damage, but his car's sitting in the pits as well. So yeah, some early pit strategies maybe happening here. Maybe just to kind of come out in an area where there's less cars and you get a better run for a little longer. But Chris Jancic diving down the inside, sending Chris Hamilton. I think that was Chris Hamilton out into the wall.
Yeah, we kind of see it live there. We'll take a look at that one more time,
He's bad. He's hurt bad. He's crabbing bad.
As you see right there, Craig flashing, but I think it was a little bit of a late move there on Jancic. Sends it in there on Hamilton, and yeah, that car is extremely damaged. So running well at the time, but he's going to drop way back now into the field. He was running in the top 5, not no more. I don't know how much damage there was to Craig Jancic, as I was just about to show everyone that he made the pass. He was up into 2nd place, and we'll take a look at how those passes came about here. As you see him stuck behind John Nominger, they go 4 wide almost on the front stretch. Jancic goes from 4th up to 2nd down the front stretch as Reiner backs out of it. But obviously now Jancic has been relegated back to 3rd place after the incident there with Hamilton. I don't see too much damage to the front end there of the 97, but certainly knocked him down a position, and not sure if it's got any kind of wrinkles that it hurts him down the straightaways. As you see him working through the S's right now onto the backstretch. We'll see if Noah Bourgeois can get any kind of run here and we take back 3rd.
Yeah, Chris is going to be able to get worked at number 64 back into the pits, take that fast repair. And it's kind of one thing here at the CSRL that I kind of like a lot is the fact that you know, if you have some incident on the track, you have a fast repair and you could take fuel and make it the rest of the way. So you know, obviously lost the track on time, but able to still get out there and put in a good effort and still get a decent run. Your leader here for your GT3 here, though, looking back here, it is Ricky Renner still over Alex Zart, and then Jesse Mosley out there in P number 3, Jason Phillips back in 4th, and then Colin Winslow back in action here and running in P number 5. Biggest mover of the race at the moment. Let's see, we'd have to go to, does look like up 9 spots, Stephen Pletz in there for the LMP2s.
I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like, subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. You know, kind of same thing that that we've said, you know, in every race is, you know, CRN, everything like that. Give those thumbs up, because the thumbs up definitely means something. It helps the videos get up there in the YouTube algorithm for anybody looking for CSRL, looking for Watkins Glen Racing, looking for anything that can be you know, kind of tagged in these videos. It helps move it up there a little bit higher in the search results, so that, you know, that in turn gives more you know, more views to CRN. It gives more views to CSRL. It helps everybody out, and doesn't cost you anything. Same thing with the with subscribing. That's why we always tell you to subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Neither of them cost you anything, and it gets you a chance to see everything that's going on out here week in and week out, as we're going to have doubleheader action here once again on Wednesday nights with CSRL, and then we'll have Pit Road Speed Limit Racing coming up right after this one.
Yeah, they got a few more races over there here for the double headers here. We're back with double headers because you know, CSRL only took a short break, and they're back in action. They wanted to get back out to racing here. You know, so even maybe leaving it open to for even yet another season before the end of the year. So a lot of racing here at CSRL. They love to do it, and kind of been enjoying this mixed bag of multi-class racing. You know, one of the kind of more successful leagues that I've seen. You know, and obviously coming back for a second season with those cars. So you always you know, congratulate those that'll keep coming back, and obviously things are going the right way for them and the drivers out there, or they wouldn't be back. So I know they even have a waiting list now, Carl. So I know the GT3 list was full. And I think they had a couple LMP2 spots, but I don't know if those are all filled up and if there's a waiting list for them now or not.
Well, we are about halfway through the night's race here, and we're going to go ahead and step aside for a little bit, give everyone out there in Sierra Nation a little love to hear it. Sights and sounds here from the CSRL season opener here at Watkins Glen International for season number 17 here. It's been a pretty good race. Had a couple earlier incidents, and it seems like that the bus stop has kind of been the biggest bugaboo for some of these drivers. I think one incident heading in with Renan Dilemma. We had a couple incidents heading out of the bus stop, and another incident right there involving your leader, the 6 of Dace Keeling, getting into the back there. I'm not sure who that was. Missed that one right there. Looks like, if I can try and get up there, looks like might have been either Cameron Burke or Steven Luttrell. But I believe Luttrell is in the GT3s, so either way, looks like Keeling's going to escape this one, but he's got Bryce Renner right on the back of him right now. Craig Jancic right behind him as well, and you still see Norbourgeois, the top 4, still separated by less than 3 seconds right now. This late into the race, we're down to less than 15 minutes here in the season opener, and that is your top 4 down in the GT3s. Ricky Renner has led this thing from the beginning. He's about to get past technically for position by Tyler Torville, but Torville obviously in the LMP2s. Ricky Renner's got a 9-second lead over Alex Zart right now in the GT3 Pro class, and then you got Jesse Mosley, Jason Phillips, and Colin Winslow for your top 5 in the Pro class. In the AM class for the GT3s, Cesar Colon Torres with a 4.5-second lead over Brandon Powell. And you got Todd Torville, Steven Santana, and Brandon Potts for your top 5. And then finally in the LMP2 AM class, you got Javi Sierra leading by 1.8 seconds over Jim Dutton. So Jim not too far behind. Paul Smith in 3rd, Stephen Pless, and Renan Dilemma even after the incident still in the top 5 there for the LMP2 AMs. But so far so good. We'll take a look back here at the front again, because this is really one of your closest battles on the track right now, and that is for the overall lead.
I'm coming back in. Whatever I tried did not work. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on, Carl. Good thing I have backups.
That's what it is. Yeah, one goes down, we'll just pop another one right back in there. We'll get you up and running here. But yeah, I mean, either way, like I mentioned, Jimmy, at for opener, this is, I think, you couldn't get really a much better track to open it up here. There's really nothing too crazy about Watkins Glen. I always err on the side of not saying it's the easiest one out there, but there's not really that much more tracks that I would think are that much easier than Watkins Glen for a starting race. I know you can, you maybe look at Daytona, the road course there, being pretty easy, but it's got some technical sections as well. I mean, turn 1 can, catch guys up right away, let alone, both the hairpins on the infield. So, some tricky parts there compared to Watkins Glen. I still say Watkins Glen is easier.
Yeah, I mean, I like Watkins Glen. It's obviously one of my favorites. Usually do fairly well there. So like the endurance events tend to be pretty fun. So yeah, I'm not quite how. I mean, not everybody loves it or is a huge fan, but yeah, let's see how they'll do here tonight as this race comes down to an end.
Seems to working through some lap traffic here as you see the track map. Pretty much traffic all over the track right now for the final 10 minutes of this race. It's not going to be easy, and this is one where I got to feel like as easy as this track is, it's the traffic that you got to worry about for sure, especially for these LMP2s trying to work through this heavy traffic right now. And gonna have a gap here pretty soon to be able to stretch his legs is Dace Keeling, but he's got some company here, and that's Bryce Reiner now back again, looking on the outside here, heading into turn number 1. Keeling going to try and pitch him out there, get a good run through turn number 1. Reiner going to try and stick right with him. We'll see if he gets any kind of run here down through the S's and down the backstretch, all over the back bumper here, almost pushing him through the S's. I think he is actually pushing him right now, and will he go for any kind of move? Looks to the outside here, heading down into the bus stop. Certainly need to have some brass ones to stick it on the outside there. He's going to back off in line. Gets a good run through the exit of the bus stop. Now on the outside through the carousel. They try to push him out there, and they almost make contact right there. Now Reiner thought about making a move into the entrance of the boot, but deciding not to. He's going to stay out there and go out a little bit too far out there. Now here comes Craig Jancic. He's going to now take back second place. Great battling here at the front of the LMP2 field. The top three right here on your screen, separated by a half a second. Not sure what happened to Noah Bourgeois, if the traffic just caught him up, but he has fallen off the pace. He's now 2 seconds behind the leaders, and it's really just a three-car breakaway at the front. Take a look at some other battles here in a second, but before we do, Keeling is going to lose the lead here and maybe even lose second place, as no, he's going to fight back and at least hold second place and split up the velocity drivers right now. But Jancic in the lead. You see Reiner flashing those lights, trying to get all up in the mind of the six, as we got a new leader here late. Craig Jancic, defending champion, looking to strike early here, and it's usually when we see Jancic take over the lead late here, he's found a little something. He started back there a little bit, started back there in fourth, but he's found the lead right now late in the race, less than 10 minutes to go. We'll see if Keeling has anything for him. Biggest mover of the race here so far is going to go to Willie Brennan right now, back in 29th after starting in 44. Started dead last, shotgun on the field. He's picked it up to 29th as it stands right now. But we got a chance, well, it's maybe settled down a little bit. We'll try to take a look at some other battles out here, as you got a battle for 5th and 6th between Devin Young and Herbert Pineda, as they've been going at it for quite some time. Down here in the GT3 Pro class, battle for some of these podium spots here. 2nd and 3rd right here on your screen, Alex Zart and Jesse Mosley. Mosley getting rid of the rookie status and is up there in the pros for this season. And then even down in the M class, you got Steven Santana, Todd Torville battling for 3rd and 4th in class.
Yeah, good battles. There's a few good battles. Obviously, a lot of it focused on the front, because it's not very often you know your leaders are this close, and they're they got
and 3 wide into the final corner. Yeah, that's sorry to cut you off, Chewy, but this is. Whew, and look who's back. Noah Bourgeois was 2 seconds behind. He's found a way to work through this traffic a little bit better than these guys, and they're all under a blanket here once again.
Yeah, and we kind of had a thing when we're on the track. You get one fast car behind you, not a problem. They go right around you. Well, when you got a group of them like this and they're battling for the lead, it can kind of get aggressive, not wanting to let each other go. Especially with, the amount of time remaining on this race. You're looking at 6 minutes to go, and you got the 4 drivers within 2/10 of each other. I mean, it's kind of almost ridiculous, but the traffic playing a big part as they have to weave and dive and get through here. And I'm sure even the GT3 drivers are like, please don't take me out, as they're trying to give them room, trying to hold their line, trying to facilitate. We see a little bit of damage there on the front right of Dace Keeling's car, and that could be what's holding him up. I don't see anything up with Craig Jancic or Bryce Reiner's car, but Noah Bourgeois back there as well, trying to catch up, maybe just not quite on pace with the other drivers here. But we've seen Noah Bourgeois at the CRN event just last week, or just a couple days ago actually, and was able to win the road race and the ovals there. So definitely congratulations to Noah for coming out and participating and having great races for that event. But here has his hands full trying to catch up and keep pace with a few of the drivers here at CSRL.
Yeah, he started up there in second place. Started up there in second place, but fell back pretty much right away to 4th, and has not really been able to recover. He's been stuck there in 4th for pretty much this entire race, and even fell back a couple times, but he's still back up there with the group. And the way it's been racy here all night long, I don't think this is over at all. I know the teammates now in first and second and trying to work together to get away from the field. They've done that just a little bit, about 0.8 of a second now separating Bryce Reiner and Dace Keeling for second and third. So maybe settle down here a little bit. Maybe the teammates go after each other here at the end. We'll see how it all plays out because we're down to 4 minutes left in the opener. And they're not done at all when it comes to traffic, because you see some more traffic right there. The 007 of Cesar Clone Torres now getting passed. And the next one that Craig Jansen coming up on is Chris Hamilton. I know he's not one to have any kind of animosity. Definitely got taken out earlier on the race by Jancic, but going to let both the, well, looks like maybe just one of them, and got a little close there to Jancic getting into the corner. So maybe a little hatred still, but Reiner going to easily get on by now into the exit of the boot, and it's going to separate this top four here just a little bit. As you see Keeling now going on by, you see Bourgeois going by pretty soon as well. So we'll take a look at some of the other battles here on the track, as Paul Smith letting Trent Blaylock go by right now. Smith running third in the AM class. Obviously, Sierra's been leading pretty much the entire time in the AM class here tonight, doing a good job. Down in the GT3 AM class, it's kind of been the same thing. Cesar Clone Torres has now kind of settled into that spot with Stephen Luttrell having some issues. And we'll take a look back and show you what happened to Luttrell, because he was leading for quite some time. But you talk about traffic right there. It is. This came out of the turn a little bit too quickly, cut right across the nose and into the wall. You see that that left rear not exactly pointing the way it's supposed to be, end up jumping in the pits, and that ended the night for the leader at the time. So it's handed over now to the 007 of Cesar Clone Torres. But coming through the boot here one more time. We'll take a look, because we could be close to 1 lap to go. Jancic has since stretched out the lead now to 1.1 seconds over his teammate Reiner. So maybe he's just saving a little bit of tires and fuel here for most of the race. Now he's able to let his hair down, and Jancic could be looking at the first win of the season already.
Yeah, first race to win of the season here. Obviously a lot better than the start of last season. We've seen Craig have a bad beginning and was able to get a really good run at the end and be able to you know, utilize the double points, and Dace having a pretty much a bad race of the final race of the season. And you know, it's a heartbreaker for Dace, as he was pretty dominant all season long, and even here right now, but you know, not having you know, too bad of a race is going to end up in a looks like a podium spot here, as they're coming down with less than a minute and a half to go. So maybe only one more lap or lap and a half to go here for these drivers, but still sitting in the top 3. So we'll see if Dace can turn this thing around as the season progresses.
Yeah, we're seeing Barney waving that white flag on the front stretch. So one more lap to go here in the opener. It's battling right in front of your leaders here, as Winslow just gets past Jason Phillips, and now, I'm sorry, wait, I got the wrong spot here. There we go. Here's the battle I was looking for, as Alex Zart and Jesse Mosley. This is in front of your leaders still, as Jancic working his way through and getting caught up here a little bit behind the 5th place of Jason Phillips. And now the 87 looks for a late move to the inside, and somehow going to make it stick there on the inside, trying to get up to Jancic here on the final lap. But there's no more traffic in line that they're going to catch up to here before the end of it. And this could be Jancic's now to win, as it got pretty close there going through the lap traffic. But you see the top 3 there still on your screen. Dace Keeling falling back, no Bourgeois falling back again. Not sure if he had any kind of incident or what the case is, but he's back 7 seconds right now. But coming out of the final corner for the first time here this season, we'll see Barney reach for that checker flag, and Greg Jancic going to take the win here at Watkins Glen. Bryce Reiner coming home in second. Dace Keeling in third. And then we'll go over to the LMP2 AM class here, and Savi Sierra now heading towards the final corner. He's had to hold off and eventually pull away from Jim Dutton here tonight, as Dutton had a pretty good race here in the AM class, switching over this season. But the 979 of Javi Sierra going to take home the win in the AM class. Down in the GT3s, now heading into the boot for the final time. Ricky Renner is looking to take the win in the GT3s, up 7.5 seconds right now. Only 3 more GT3s in top 3 that have yet to cross the line. Cesar Colon Torres already coming across the line, winning in the GT3 AM class here tonight. And Willie Brennan finishing up 18 spots is going to be our Chris Burrell Hard Charger Award winner here tonight. But Ricky Renner is our last class winner that needs to cross the line, coming through the exit of the boot right now. He'll head the simraces.com McLaren to the penultimate corner, and just got to get through the final corner without slapping that wall on the exit, which it is it can catch up to you. But you see him giving a wide berth there, as he is going to take home the GT3 win here tonight at Watkins Glen. And so battling here to the end, as I believe Alex Zart may have run out of fuel. Jesse Mosley is actually going to sneak up there and grab second place away from Zart here at the end of the race.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, definitely hate to see that for sure. But good finish here, and a good run for a lot of these drivers. And Jimmy, I think a pretty good start to the season here for season 17.
Yeah, I think the start here for season 17, obviously a wild one, a very familiar track and a place that the drivers were at just, a couple weeks ago, and to kind of come back out here. And so a lot of warm up, and probably maybe not much practice needed, unless they're in another car. Maybe they were out there in that GTP, or maybe they're in the LMP2 now and ran in the GT3. So there is some differences, and we've seen some of those LMP2s lose it out of the bus stop, and we talked about the cars being able to eat them curbs. LMP2, not a curb eater, so you really got to be careful and be ready for the bounce and the kick when the bottoms out like that, as we've seen a few drivers get spun out into the wall. But I think next week, obviously they'll lick their wounds a little bit and come back at it full strength. But great first race of the season here for CSRL here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, next week we head across the pond the other way, going to Motegi for the GTP. So this will be an interesting start here. I mean, clearly Watkins Glen, an easier, more familiar track for a lot of these drivers. Motegi maybe not so much. And then we head to Spa, Canadian Tire, Interlagos for the first half of the season. Road America, could be some rain there, as well as the one at Spa. Monza, Fuji, Daytona, VIR. And then the 2-hour season finale is going to be at Le Mans. So pretty good looking schedule here for season 17. But it's time to get some driver interviews here for tonight. We're going to go ahead. We'll start off right here at the top, and see if I can switch it back here a little bit. There we go. We'll start it at the top here and give you tonight's overall winner. And it is going to be the 97 of Craig Jansick. Craig, it took a little bit to finally find your way to the lead here tonight. Started up there in 4th position, but you guys, the top 4 kind of just stuck to each other the entire race. I don't think there's that much separation between you guys all night, other than when you got into traffic, because traffic kind of played a big part here tonight.
Yeah, I think traffic was the name of the game, and I'm not going to say a single word about my race before I apologize to Chris Hamilton. I know I ruined his. I'm glad he recovered to have an okay finish, but he probably should have done a position or 2 better than he did, and that's just fully on me. Honestly, the intensity of the moves going on there, I just completely missed the breaking point, and it was too far gone right away. So I will send him a direct message as well, but I wanted to put an apology on air for him to him for that as well. And yeah, aside from that, traffic really was the largest factor of the race here tonight. And I kind of thought that would be the case. I just ran the 6 hours in the GTP, and the closing rates are, huge. And it's almost easy to negotiate traffic just because of how big the difference is. You're not cutting much lap time in that car, taking it offline here, but you are here So you're fighting for more, and the speed delta is a lot closer. We're basically going within reason the same speed mid corner, and the GT3s are getting off the corner better. And we all know how the low RPM stuff is here in this thing. So this is a crazy one. Watkins Glen is a track that I think most of the service knows, regardless of what discipline they favor, whether it's NASCAR, sports car, etc. Even Formula Car, brings a lot of stuff here, even though it's not in real life. And I think that makes a lot of people a little bit more confident when they come in as well to the Glen. And I think all of those things coming together really resulted in absolute dogfight here on this racetrack tonight.
We've seen the exact opposite multiple times. We've seen when you go to a track like this where people have a ton of experience. You see it even on the oval side of tracks like Charlotte, where people have a ton of laps on there. You figure, okay, well, it's gonna be a great race because everybody has a ton of knowledge on this track, but the overconfidence sometimes gets the best of everybody and ends up being the exact opposite, ends up being a crap show. But tonight
Right.
here, not the case at all. It was a great race by all the drivers out there, especially you guys up there in the top four. It definitely got dicey, it got crazy in a lot of spots. But yeah, I mean, you coming back here, trying to defend the crown here once again, and Jimmy with little shots fired earlier on, but well deserved because last season took a little bit to get that 97 going, but you get it going here tonight on race number 1 and get the first win out of the way right away. So congrats on the win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah. Firstly, season 17, and we're back here on Core Racing Network. Absolutely elated to be able to say that. Carl, Jimmy, Tilford, everybody in the background of CRN. Thank you for what you do to put our races on here. We put 43 cars on grid here, maybe 44, I'm not sure. On grid, at least 43, and that's a great start as always. So really thankful for everybody for showing up here tonight. Going to take an extra moment to thank the Velocity group here. Digital Sim Sports No More, Velocity, welcome. We're here. We put 1, 2 here tonight. We're going to try to do that as many weeks as possible. Maybe 1, 2, 3, even when Rich can show up, and when the bus stop monster doesn't need him. So sorry, Rich, for that.
Big old bite out of him.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Right.
No, we love Rich, and I hate that happened to him, but I know he'd have been fighting up here for top 5, top 4, top 3, even if it wasn't. It's going to be a great season, man. My loved ones, mom, dad, Aunt Sandy, my girlfriend Anna, Chris, Uncle Lee, everybody that's out there watching, rooting for me even a little bit. Thank you. It's going to be a fun season. I think this is one of the most fun and diverse schedules that we have ever had here, courtesy of the IMSA official schedule. But I think that there's a lot of different track types from a lot of different disciplines and fortes that I think is going to really lend to some topsy-turvy races here this season. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait to put it on for y'all, and can't wait to see what CRN does with our wonderful league here.
Well,
I have
certainly.
one.
Oh,
I have
go ahead.
one question though before we go further. As far as race setups for you, you talked a little bit about the IMSA series, following the IMSA series.
Mhm.
What rule set are you guys using for your series? Because we know that iRacing added different rule sets for iRacing, and that makes a big difference when it comes to pit strategies.
It makes a significant difference. You're absolutely right for asking this question. I'm glad you brought it up. We are using IMSA regulations because
Okay.
we follow the IMSA schedule so closely. We thought that was really the only path forward. I mean, sure, if we put the ELMS spec on here, a lot of things would be different. Yeah, I mean, you could put IMSA branding on these cars and run the ELMS engine and tune, and you'd have LMP2s probably lapping it here at the Glen maybe 3 seconds faster.
Oh, yeah, they're really.
The ELMS engine tune
Mhm.
increases redline, increases horsepower. I even think it increases boost. So you would probably see more fuel consumption for all of those reasons. You'd see more tire wear. Maybe that's something that's explored in a future season, but for this season, we're going IMSA branding, full IMSA branding, full IMSA Rex.
Thank you for clarifying that for us and the fans out there.
Absolutely.
Well, want to thank you for popping in here as the race winner here tonight. So congrats again on that. We'll let you go celebrate. We'll see you next week at Motegi.
Absolutely. Cheers, boys.
That's your winner here tonight overall and in the LMP2 Pro class. the 97 of Craig Jancic. Winner in the LMP2 AM class is going to go to the 979 of Javi Sierra.
Hey, Javi, it's Jimmy and Carl over the Booty Cappy.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad. Welcome to the booth here, and obviously a familiar course that maybe many of you have visited, not just tonight, but either just recently in an endurance fair or just in iRacing in general. So obviously, I want to say congratulations, man, and recognize you taking that spot where you finished here tonight. But give you some time for kind of explain how your race was here for the first race of season 17 here with CSRL.
No, thank you guys. Well, yeah, I mean, it was pretty easygoing race. Wasn't that bad. Traffic got me on the bad spots a few times. Like in the bus stop, like right there, I was like, oh my god, no. But yeah, overall it was pretty easygoing. Was flowing. Was trying to save tires and some fuel at the same time, and just trying to hit my markers and keep my nose clean.
Yeah, it can be. It seems like it can be a difficult task at times. You start off out front, and you're battling real close with your class, and then you catch up to the back of the GT3s, and the next thing you find yourself, like you said, catching a car and an awkward spot where you're so much faster, but you have to somehow be patient and then take your moment. What is your favorite move, I guess, for setting up a GT3? Is it do you like to try to get it into the corner before them, or do you like to set it up exiting the corner?
Yeah, exiting the corner is like, I mean, I feel more comfortable, just overtake them when I execute the corner, and yeah, try not to compromise his race, my race, or you know his spot or his line.
Yeah, it's kind of like I think that's the way that I like to drive the LMP2 as well. It's one of those cars that has a nice spot in my heart. Have plenty of endurance wins, 24-hour wins in that car, and it's one I like to push to. And we got the word that what rule set that you guys are using this season here with the IMSA series, so still maintaining what you all had last year. Either way, man, you did a great job. I want to say congratulations, recognize your driving, and then give you a little time for any shots you might have in that car.
Oh, thank you guys, and thanks to Jim and all the guys for putting all this together.
Or we really appreciate the shout outs, and again, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate this one with your friends and family.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
That is your LMP2 AM class winner, Javi Sierra, and the 979 also finished up there in the top 10 as well. So a good start to the season for him. Switching over to the GT3s, we're going to go ahead and start with our winner here tonight and the GT3 Pros of the 53 of Ricky Renner. Ricky, you pretty much had a stranglehold on this race. You start up there on the pole here for the GT3s and ended up, you had a little battle at the beginning, but other than that, you kind of dominated out here. Was it maybe a little carryover from the Watkins Glen 6 hour?
Yeah, I think the 6 hour definitely helped. A lot of prep went into that. So the big thing was going back to the fixed setup and just getting used to the car with that. It handles very differently. We'll just leave it
Yes.
at that. We got some input on that, but we'll just say it handles very differently. But yeah, it was a good race. It was just getting clear of that, pushing that first lap and kind of getting clear of the draft range, and then just managing the tires because the track was really hot tonight.
So we talked to the LMP2 drivers about the traffic, and it's the traffic from their eyes is obviously one thing. How was the traffic from your eyes? How was it trying to do your thing? I mean, you had a nice little buffer when it comes to your lead, so maybe you made it a little easier on yourself. But I mean, when you got groups of LMP2s coming up on you, it's not fun.
No, it was like you said, I had a buffer, so it was pretty easy just to be patient and not risk anything. But it's one of those, you kind of look up, you see the relative, and you see a car, and you're like, I know I'm about to get dove into here, but please don't. And then so I just lift early, wait, they do it, and I'm like, I don't know how many times I got dove into the bus stop, and it's no offense to that, but like some of the LMP guys, like I'm faster through the bus stop than they are. Like it's just fifth gear. You just kind of roll through it with speed and they break between it. So you end up almost running into them. But
Yeah,
when they
you're
dive
not
to
gonna
get
hold them
inside
up.
you,
Yeah.
yeah, they're hitting the brakes so hard to make the turn that we come to a stop and it's like, cool, we're a second slower. Like, but um, I mean, it's nice, like you say, like when you have a little bit of a gap and you can see that coming and just play it on the safe side. And you don't have to push for it. Where the guys behind, I was kind of keeping an eye on it and watching their little battle they had, and it's like any little bit that you give up to be safe, like your gap's gone back there. So it could be tough.
Well, you get it done here in the GT3 Pro class to start off the season on top of the board. So congrats on the win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Shout out to the whole simraces.com crew. Uh, we almost got it done in the LMP class, but a little bit of unfortunate luck up there. But shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast over here. It's awesome. The whole CSRO crew for an awesome series and all the drivers that make it really fun. It's nice going out there and having, 50 drivers or something like that on the grid. And that's super cool. So shout out to everybody that, is driving and helping out, making it cool.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the season start here at Watkins Glen. We'll see if you can back it up at Motegi next week.
Sounds good. See you guys there.
That's your winner here in the GT3 Pro class, the 53 of Ricky Renner. Top spot in the GT3 AM class is going to go to the 007 of Cesar Colon Torres.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm back. I did it this season.
He's back at the beginning of the season. It's good to get you back up here in the booth, and obviously you have a great first race here at Watkins Glen, and maybe a little left over from the weekend that was just here recently.
Yeah, so I did 2 6 hours this weekend. I did one in the GT3 with some of the guys as a test before I did the LMP2. And when I did the LMP2, got a pretty good start, and then embarrassed myself with my first time driving with a new guy, and just embarrassed myself in front of him the whole time. So I had to redeem myself in front of him while he watched the stream tonight. So
Well,
there it
at
was.
least you're able to get that redemption and get yourself show them that you can really drive out there, and obviously you get the results that you wanted to here to kind of kick off the season and work your way to just a great series, and hopefully keep leading that points chase here as this season goes on. So we want to say congratulations, man. Obviously, it's rough out there, and at times with being buzzed by them LMP2s, but you did a great job here tonight. And we wanted to recognize that, say congratulations, and give you some time for any shouts you might have in that car.
Thanks, man. Shout out to the Black Saturn guys. There's a few of them, so I'm not gonna say all the names. Shout out to you guys, always in the booth. Shout out to CSRL. Shout out to my beautiful woman who is cooking dinner right now, and I can smell it. It is enticing me right now. And shout out to everyone and everyone that I get to race with. You guys are awesome. It's always fun, tight racing. This is awesome.
Again, congratulations. Thanks for the shout outs. Don't eat too much, and go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right, appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
That is your GT3 AM class winner, Cesar Colon Torres, and the 007, and may have to get a little weight check next week on him. But either way, he gets the win here tonight at Watkins Glen.
Now, a weight penalty in the car.
exactly.
Maybe his fans will want him to eat some more.
Maybe they can take a little weight out of the car, because they're leaving it out while he's in the car. But either way, the man that moved up the most spots here tonight, the winner of the Chris Burrell Hard Charger Sandbagger Award winner here tonight, starting at shotgun on the field, finishing up there in 29th, the 7 of Willie Brennan. Willie, you had a tough task, still clearly starting in the back of the field here tonight, but you clearly found your way through the field here and running in the Mustang.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable time. I had a lot of fun. It was cool seeing the LMP2 guys come by. I think there was 4 of them in a line there with like 10 minutes to go, so that was a good fight. But yeah, just enjoying myself.
Well, I mean, clearly you were enjoying yourself because you might be the only GT3 car out there that thought it was fun watching the LMP2s fly on by. Because we just talked to some of the other class winners here, and they were like, "Yeah, it was oof, pretty much." But either way, I mean, it's what you're gonna have to deal with for the season. That's what you got with multi-class racing. But starting here on a track that's a little bit more familiar, and I would assume you have plenty of laps here, maybe even running in the Watkins Glen 6 hour this past weekend. But the schedule doesn't just have these kind of tracks. So you got like Motegi next week. Do you have any kind of experience at Motegi that you can bring into the season?
none at all. So yeah, it'll be a new experience, just like the league, and yeah, fun time so far.
Yeah, so far so good. Like I said, starting dead last on the field, they move it up 18 spots. So that was a great drive through the field. So congrats on the Hard Charger Sandbagger Award win here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, Team Hyperion Racing. They're a great group of guys, real fast guys, and yeah, I like the broadcast. I just put it on after the race, and it looks nice and clean. And yeah, thank you guys for putting this together.
Well, we certainly appreciate that, buddy. We'll let you go celebrate. Hopefully next week you get a little better qualifying in, and we'll see you drive through the field and get a better spot.
Yep, I'll see you guys next week.
Hi, buddy. That is the 7 of Willie Brennan, Chris Burrell Hard Charger Award winner here tonight. But that's going to do it for race number 1. The start of season 17 is done and dusted. We're going to get this thing back underway again next week at Motegi for race number 2. But for myself and Jimmy from the Watkins Glen International, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.
My heart bleeds adrenaline. The fire I breathe is where I live. Incredible, an animal. One life to live. I never give up, I never give in. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top. Ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Fly high, or will I fall? Legends made when faith is strong. No time to bleed, I'm conquering. Roll on my love, I'll push through the pain, I'll run for the prize. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Every day I fight to be Wings are made to fly, made to fly. Fears are born to die, born to die. Pushing through the pain, through the pain. Pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. To the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be air I breathe is where I live. Incredible, an animal, one life to live. I never give up, I never give in. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top.